Hey guys, Mickey with CarryTrainer.com and GunFighter Gun Oil. Let's talk a little bit about gun grease. What's the difference between gun grease and gun oil? We get a lot of messages on the website about this. When do you use one versus the other? I don't know. This is a personal preference kind of a discussion. A lot of times the argument is you use grease in places that you want it to stay put. Well, we want oil and grease to stay put anywhere we're putting it. That's why we put it there. It's really a personal preference. I use them both, but a place that I love to use grease more than anything is on my AR. And the reason being, when I'm shooting the AR, I'm probably shooting a lot, especially in training, 500 to 1,000 rounds in a shooting session. A lot of carbon, a lot of buildup, and what it does for me is it helps with cleanup. So, quick tip here on grease over oil. The grease, normally, gun is cleared out rather. The grease normally is thought about as something that stays put, like I said, which is true. The other thing it does is it attracts and grabs the carbon. So if we look at my bolt here, which had some grease on it, and I just shot about 900 rounds the other day through this. I'm going to show you that side I haven't touched or wiped. This side I have. So this side I haven't touched or wiped. And there's about, like I said, almost a whole case through this. Watch this. Now, if we had normal oil on there like this, what happens is just the reciprocation starts to toss it. The grease can be wiped down a little bit heavier, and it really makes cleanup a snap. So what I do is I look for any shiny spots of metal. So you can look at the bolt here and you see shiny spots. Those shiny spots are the wear surfaces. They're the contact points. This whole bolt carrier is not touching the inside of the buffer, but if I look, there are wear points that the designers made that those ride on the congruent parts inside the gun. Those are the areas I want to make sure have a good amount of grease on them. Those are the areas that the friction is really occurring. The rest of it is more of a protectant and a carbon grabber. A lot of misunderstandings in the world of firearms. A lot of times I think we're making it harder than it ought to be. A lot of times we are adding things that don't need to be there. And boy, oh boy, are there a lot of people that get angry when they see how I slather up a bolt or even a pistol. The end of the day, do what works for you, but I will say this. I shoot a lot. Like 30 to 50,000 rounds a year. That doesn't make me a great shooter. It doesn't make me better than anybody. It doesn't make me smarter than anybody. What it does do is it exposes me to a lot of instances where we can see if what we're doing to maintain the guns works or doesn't. And what I can tell you, traveling around, coming to classes, our stuff works. Find any student of ours that's been in class and ask them how many times they've seen one of my guns go down. I have definitely had springs and things like that break. This particular Radian weapon, I've done nothing to it but replace the barrel a few times. When you shoot a bunch, you wear those things out. I've had a few minor parts that we've replaced, some springs, things like that, because that's what you're supposed to do when you use the gun. But truth be told, these guns do not go down in class. We lubricate plenty of material to keep the gun reducing friction, reducing heat, increasing longevity, increasing protection from corrosion, and making cleanup a heck of a lot easier so that you're not sitting there having to use a bunch of toxic chemicals. Look for the shiny spots, hit the shiny spots with some grease. If you're going to store a gun for a long time, have no problem slathering it up good. This idea that a little bit of lube is the way to go, or people that want to tell me what their manual says, you can do that. I guarantee you the people from these manufacturers are not shooting as much as we are. I know it because I know a lot of these people. You're not going to hurt your gun by lubing it up good and reducing friction. Oh, is that the grease you're looking for? Why, yes, it is. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Why, yes, it is. Why, yes, it is. Just a little quick swipey swipe. You may ask, why am I not scrubbing the snot out of this gun? Because I'm about to take it right back outside, shoot her some more. Yes, I am. Yes, I am going to shoot her some more. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you're so greased up. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Sometimes doing this stuff in these funky angles isn't all it's cracked up to be. Function check good. Hey man, what are you doing in the podcast room, Steve?
I'm writing a national anthem. It's going to be at folk festivals for GunFighter Gun Oil.
Oh.
Let me tell you about GunFighter Gun Oil. Made in the USA. GunFighter Gun Oil, 100% synthetic. It's gonna last you, baby. Yeah. GunFighter Gun Oil is the best I've ever seen. It's gonna make you get everything that you've ever seen. Oh, baby, I love me some GunFighter Gun Oil. Yeah. Oh, GunFighter Gun Oil, GunFighter.
Gonna get my lighter out. I don't have it.
It wasn't even Bob Dylan. It was like a love story.